In the face of prolonged suffering and political struggle, the full humanity of people can often be overlooked. The world may see Palestinians through the lens of conflict and victimhood. Many times, we are stripped of our full humanity. We are seen as political problems, perpetrators of violence or security threats. Even in well-meaning advocacy and political discourse, we are defined solely by our suffering and reduced to passive recipients of violence. But behind the struggle, there is a people with beautiful, enduring culture that deserves to be celebrated. The Palestinian people have a rich cultural heritage. Palestinians are people who love life, and their experiences include not only stories of pain, but also of joy, community, and traditions. The Palestinian spirit and their love of life are found in the stitches of tatriz. This Palestinian embroidery is not merely a craft, but a celebration of life, identity, and heritage. Every cross-stitch and every pattern have a meaning. The palm tree stitch is a symbol of life and vitality. The bird represents freedom, the flower, beauty. The stitching on the Jerusalem dress has a tree of life embroidery, symbolizing strength, while the stitches on Ramallah dress has farmer's branch, and it symbolizes growth and a deep connection to the land. You can identify a woman's home city just by the stitch and the pattern of her dress. Tatriz is a visual language that tells stories. It is a wearable autobiography. The Palestinian spirit is also found in the Debke folk dance that physically shakes the ground and declares unity, strength, and joy. It is found in the sound of oud, a musical instrument that carries both sorrow and an immense joy. It is the sound of a history that is both painful and beautiful. And of course, for Palestinians, life is always celebrated with food. Like I was told that there's only going to be finger food. Well, if you look inside there, it's not going to be finger food. So we have like friki and matlubi. But food is more than sustenance. It is the primary language of community and love. The flip in the matlubi dish is itself a moment of shared joy and anticipation. The headlines miss this vibrant culture that persists against all odds. It does not report on this, it only reports on the tally death and report on what's being broken and taken away. It does not report on the students who attend online university in Gaza in the midst of the bombings, or the singers who incorporated their tempo to the hum and the buzzing of the drone. The Palestinian people assert that nothing can break their humanity, their hope, and their unwavering will to live and to enjoy life. Celebrating and finding a joy in our culture and traditions is a conscious choice to affirm life while everything around us negates it. Enjoying life is not an ignorance of the struggle, but a form of resistance. It is the very thing that allows us to endure the struggle and the pain. And as Mahmoud Darwish said, وَنَحْنُ نُحِبُّ الْحَيَاةَ إِذَا مَا اسْتَطَعْنَا إِلَيْهَا سَبِيلًا. And we love life if we find a way to it. Thank you.
Speaking next is someone who works to bring people of different backgrounds together around a shared commitment to peace and justice. From the Prayers for Peace Alliance, let's welcome Justin Marshall.
Hello, Philadelphia. It's so good to be here in solidarity with all of you. I'm representing Prayers for Peace Alliance, which was founded 2 years ago this month to bring together Jews and Palestinians to protest the Gaza genocide and oppose the brutal military occupation of Palestine that has been ongoing now for 3 generations and counting. And I learned quickly from my Palestinian partners in this work that solidarity, real solidarity, has to also mean fighting anti-Palestinian racism right here in the United States. Because for far too long, prejudice against Palestinians has been thoroughly normalized in our society. And this is a prejudice that doesn't just influence individual behavior, it also impacts the behavior of schools, religious institutions, and the media, not to mention the policies of our government. It is what we might call systemic racism. Let's take, for example, the Trump administration's targeting of Palestinians and their allies for deportation. This was their attempt to set a precedent for deporting people who are in this country legally, and they started with Palestinian immigrant and activist Mahmoud Khalil. The Trump administration believed that those who might otherwise oppose their illegal deportation scheme would be divided on whether to stand up for a Palestinian. And what might have given them that idea? Consider that the Democratic Party refused to allow a Palestinian speaker on their convention stage to endorse Kamala Harris. The lesson here is that pandering to racism of any kind, including anti-Palestinian racism, has a corrosive effect on all of our rights and freedoms. Now, I'd like to share something from my own life. Some time ago, my pro-Palestine activism made me the target of a doxing campaign, something that I am sadly not alone in. My employer was bombarded with emails and phone calls demanding that I be fired, but my boss did the right thing. She saw through the disinformation and made clear right away that she had my back. In this situation, I had the privilege of being Jewish, which made obvious how ridiculous the accusations against me were. But not everyone gets that benefit of the doubt, which makes it all the more important that we stand up to those who try to bully Palestinians and their allies into silence. Because, to paraphrase Angela Davis, when it comes to any form of discrimination, it is not enough to just commit to not being racist, we must be actively anti-racist. It is not enough to just treat anti-Palestinian racism at the individual level, we must face it head-on at the systemic level. This means ending partnerships with organizations that have a proven track record of anti-Palestinian racism. And here I'll name the Anti-Defamation League as an example. It means school policies that affirm the right of Palestinian students to express their own culture and advocate for their own people. And at the ballot box, it means voting for candidates who are demonstrably anti-racist. May we build a world in which standing in solidarity with our Palestinian neighbors is not such a brave thing to do. That's what all of you are doing today. Thank you.